कर नदिया गोद्र में नित्यानंद महाजन पतिया चे नाम हट्टा जीवेर करन श्रद्धावान जाना है श्रद्धावान जाना है श्रद्धावान जाना है श्रद्धावान जाना है प्रभु आज्ञा भाई मागिए भिक्षा बोलो कृष्ण भज कृष्ण करो कृष्ण शिक्षा बोलो कृष्ण भज कृष्ण करो कृष्ण शिक्षा अपरा शून्य होय लोह कृष्ण नाम अपराध शून्य होय लोह कृष्ण नाम कृष्ण माता कृष्ण पिता कृष्ण धन प्राण कृष्ण माता कृष्ण पिता कृष्ण धन प्राण कृष्णेर संसार कोरो छाड़िया नचार कृष्णेर संसार कोरो छाड़िया नचार जीव दया कृष्ण नाम सर्वधर्म सार जीव दया कृष्ण नाम सर्वधर्म सार श्रद्धावान जाना है श्रद्धावान जाना है प्रभु आप आगे भाई माई ये भिक्षा नदिया गोद्र में नित्यानंद महाजन पतिया चे नाम हट्टा जीवेरा करन नदिया गोद्र में नित्यानंद महाजन पतिया चे नाम हट्टा जीवेरा करन हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय प्रभुपदा 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 जय प्रभुपदा जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव निताय गौरव हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल।
In Nadiya's Godruma, the great soul Lord Nityananda has opened a marketplace to sell the holy name to the conditioned souls. O faithful people, O faithful people, O my brothers, by the Lord's commands, I ask this charity of you. Please chant Krishna, worship Krishna and teach about Krishna. Chant Krishna's name without offense. Accept Krishna as your mother. Accept Krishna as your father. Accept Krishna as your wealth and your life. Give up all the sins. Make Krishna your whole world. Be merciful to all the souls. Chant Krishna's name. That is the essence of all the religions. Hare Krishna. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरोन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रता सगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपदान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चना गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यस्य कृपा सिन्धुव एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वती व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नः प्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोकी भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। नमः पंकजनाभाय नमः पंकजमालिनी नमः पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजाङ्घ्रि नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने वरतिषे नमः। नमो ब्राह्मण्याय देवाय गो ब्राह्मण हिताय च जगद्दिताय कृष्णाय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निधि नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे भगवती भाषालं पंगं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरो दीनतारिणं श्री परमानन्दमाधवं श्री चैतन्य ईश्वरम् अपवित्रो पवित्रो वा सर्वावस्थं गतोऽपि वा यस्मरेत् पुण्डरीकाक्ष साभाग्यभ्यन्तरं सुचेत् श्री विष्णु श्री विष्णु श्री विष्णु। हरे कृष्ण। Hare Krishna Shilpa Mataji, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to speak something about Srimad Bhagavatam on this Sunday morning. Hare Krishna Akinchana Prabhu, thank you so
Thank you,
much for
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Anuradha Mataji, thank you so much. Dandavat Pranam. Prasanna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Uh, Deepa Mataji, thank you so much for laying a platform for today's session. Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna Subhara Prabhuji, thank you so much. So,
Pranam, Prabhuji.
in the we are seeing the fifth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled "The Structure of this Universe." So yesterday we have seen text number 1 to 17. So we'll have just a quick recap of what has happened yesterday. So some of the points which I also have noted, might be useful for all for you. So before that, when I was given this slokas, this chapter, I was thinking this is the structure of the universe. So there is so many islands, so many waters, so many different partitions. What am I going to what am I going to speak on this? So when I was reading Srimad Bhagavatam the first time, I felt it's like little bit boring. So it looks such a geography. I'm not interested in geography. So I found this chapter little bit boring when I was reading the first time. But when I was given this chapter to discuss on this today, I was thinking what I'm going to speak. There is nothing to be spoken in this. So when I went to ISKCON Desire Tree, and section by section I have seen. So there are lot to be learned even from this. This is not an ordinary geography. This is transcendental geography. So even from this geography, if you be carefully read, there is lot of information available, lot of bhakti by reading, knowing about these islands. So how this is how the knowing the structure of the universe can lead me to bhakti. This Srimad Bhagavatam is transcendental. So it is Paramahamsa Samhita. So it gives bhakti to all of us. So there should be something in this chapter which gives me bhakti. So in the 14th to 17th sloka, we can see the residents of the Priyavata. Let me share your convenience. So we have already seen this. We can see that King Maharaj Priyavata was handing over the 7 islands to his sons like Vasudhana, Dradaruchi, Stutyavarta, Nabhigupta, Vivikta, and Vamadeva. So from here we can understand that one should renounce this world very timely. So just like in the Canto 1, how Dhritarashtra was forced to go to the retirement by Vidura. Then we learned that one should retire with timely, otherwise it is very difficult to progress in the spirituality. Even in the devotee circle, we might get attached to our family lives. So renouncing the material world is very much important. After retirement, we have to do more and more of the bhakti. So Priyavata started giving rule to his sons and taking renunciations. He was not attached to the kingdom. So one should do our duties without any attachment in this material world. Like the case of Rupa Goswami and Sanat Goswami, they were engaged in the service of the Krishna. So Rishabhadeva instructs his sons that this body is meant for tapasya. So in the present day, the tapasya is the Krishna Bhakti. So then only our consciousness becomes pure. This Krishna Bhakti is a real tapasya in this Kali Yuga. Harinameva kevalam, Harinameva kevalam, Harinameva kevalam, Halo Nasteva Gatiranyata. There is no other better tapasya than the Harinam Sankirtana. So presently we are having so much impurities. So what are these impurities? Material contaminations. So name, fame, degrees, we are all attached to this name. So in our material journey, we get so many promotions, we get so many responsibilities. We are attached to the name, fame, etc. In that. These are all material impurities. So Bhagavad Gita 14.18 says, Urdhvam gachanti sattvatsta madhye tisri rajasa jaganna kuna smritista adho gachanti tamasaha. So one who is situated in the mode of goodness goes to the higher planetary systems. Those who are in the Rajoguna in the middle planetary systems. Those who are in Tamoguna go into the lower planetary system. So presently in Kaliga, we are in the mode of Rajoguna and Tamoguna. So we have to elevate our consciousness to the Sattva and then transcend from the Sattva to pure Sattva. Then only we can achieve Krishna. So Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Na Sochati Na Kanchati. One should be situated in the Brahma Bhuta platform. So when we situated in the Brahma Bhuta platform, then only we can get into the higher consciousness. So nowadays, we are not able to renunciate. So when the time of when the time of retirement comes, we are still attached to our possessions, especially in the case of politics. So now elections are going to happen. So we know what is the age of a politician. So even after 80 years, 90 years, they are not willing to relinquish a seat. They are trying to contest in the elections to get the name, fame, money, etc. They are not handing over their reins to the next generation. Even devotees, as a devotees, we are attached to the Vyasasana. Oh, I'm getting so much name, fame, and etc. I'm sitting on the Vyasasana. So everyone giving me praise. I won't leave this Vyasasana. So there is certain time when we have to leave Vyasasana. So attachment to the service is also not good. So we have to do services for the pleasure of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Not that it's for my pleasure. Attachment means it is for my pleasure. So in the 15th to 17th sloka, we have seen they are the oh fire God, you are the part of the Supreme Personality of God Hari, and you carry to him all the offerings of the sacrifice. So we know we perform so many yajnas. So when you do yajna, so we put havis in the yajna and say swaha. The yajna purusha takes that whatever the bhoga we are offering, and he is diverting it to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So here we Indians have a very have faulty ideas. So what is that? What is the faulty idea? We think every demigod is equal to the Supreme Personality of God. Everyone is same. So Indra, Chandra, Vayu, Shiva, and Lakshmi, everyone are at the same level of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But if one thinks the demigods are at the level of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and worships them, then it is not correct. So we should not treat at the same level. We should give respect. So one devotee has asked, should we respect Lord Shiva? So Shiva is a demigod. Should we respect Lord Shiva? So yesterday we came from Navadip Dham, Mayapur. So one place called Simantadvi. So in the Simantadvi, we can see Lord Shiva is dancing in the Rudra Tandava. So we know that Lord Shiva dances Tandava. But there, in that location, when Shiva was dancing, he was in a calm mood. Rudra Tandava is not present in the calm mode. So the Rudra Tandava happens only when Pralaya happens. But seeing Lord Shiva dance, Parvati was amazed. What is this? This is not a time of Pralaya, and not this is not also that the Pralaya Tandava. This Tandava is little different. Like we can see Lord Shiva is in extremely calm mode. He's enjoying, relishing his dance. So what was his dancing upon? There, the devotees were saying it was all written on this on the walls of the temple that Shiva was singing Gauranga, Gauranga. Because Shiva was chanting the Gauranga, Gauranga, he was in a very calm mode. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared before Parvati Devi, and he gives that holy dust, and the holy dust he keeps on the Simanta area of this is called Simanta of the woman. So we keep that sindoor there. So she keeps the dust of the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and takes it on the forehead. And that's why it's called Simanta Dvi. So we know that from this we can know that Lord Shiva is an ardent devotee of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Should we disrespect him? No, we should not disrespect. Srila Prabhupada you once said, a Vaishnava should respect even an ant. What to speak of Lord Shiva? Even we should respect in every hand, because each and in every living entity there is a soul. The soul is part and parcel of Krishna and has eternal relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The problem is some of the souls have forgotten the connection. Some of the souls are establishing the connection, and some souls are already establishing the connection. But whatever it may be, everyone is connected to the Supreme Personality of God, and everyone should be respected at their own level. But in India, what happens? We one day, Monday, Tuesday, Saturday, till Saturday, Sunday, we go to different temples. Why? Because we do not know who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We do not have faith on the one Supreme. So earlier, we in our houses we used to have puja mandir, all the varieties of the demigods in there. So fortunately, Prabhupada has saved us. He has given as Krishna is a supreme personality of Godhead. Yes, we have to respect each and every devata, but we have to worship only supreme personality of Godhead, Krishna. So Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Dharman Parityaja, surrender unto me and abandon all other dharma. In essence, it is saying Krishna is saying that worship only me, not the devatas. कामेस्तैस्तैर्हृतज्ञ प्रपद्यन्ते अन्य देवताः तं तं नियमम् आस्त्य prakrite niyata swaya. Bhagavad Gita 7.20 says, those whose intelligence has been stolen by the material desires surrender unto the demigods and follow the particular rules and regulations of worship according to their own natures. Only the less intelligent people worship the other devatas. So just like in this, it is given Guru. Just like a Guru, Yashya Prasada, Bhagavat Prasada. The Guru is a representative of the Supreme. He carries the Lord, whatever is offered. Guru does not take the offerings. He takes on behalf of the Supreme Personality of God and directs to the Supreme Personality of God. That's why that whatever we are offering, we have to offer it through the to Parampara. He takes the service from the disciples, forwards to Krishna, and he is a representative. So that's why devotees, especially devotees, when we are preaching by way of physical preaching or by way of our actions, we should not blaspheme the demigods and cause the new devotees to go away. So new devotees come to the temples, new devotees come to our satsangs. So when yes, they have previous conception that Shiva is a supreme, maybe they worship Durga as a supreme. They have their own conceptions. So it will take that time for them to understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sometimes what happens as a devotees, we say, "You are worshiping Lord Shiva. Don't you know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead?" So we try to pour our entire philosophy on the newcomers and blaspheme the Devadas. We should not do that. So what happens when we do that? They faith faith in our organization destroys. It is Vaishnava Aparada. We should increase the faith. Generally, they take certain time to do that. So this is what, in essence, what we have seen in the 14th to 15th 14th to 17th slokas. So before going to that, the remaining slokas, let me I hope you have seen this picture. So once again, I am showing it, the understanding purpose. So this is the entire Brahmanda which we are seeing. This entire Brahmanda. So we have the Mahavishnu here, sorry, Garbhodaka Vishnu, and there are 28 hellish planets. There are lower planets like Patala, Rasatala, all these things. Then the higher planetary system until up to the Brahmaloka and Satyaloka. So this is the place which we are going to read in this particular chapter. This is called Bhuloka, the structure of the planet. So in this we have the Mount Meru and the Jambudvipa, and one of the Varsha is called Ilavrata Varsha or called Bharata Varsha. Earlier it was popularly known as Ilavrata Varsha. Now it is known as Bharata Varsha after the king Bharata. So now we are reading about this and this plane. So if you see the cross section of this plane, so we have the mountain Meru over here, surrounded by salt water and the Jambudepa. So on the Jambudepa, after Jambudepa, we have a saltwater ocean and Lakshadweepa. After that, we have sugar ocean, and we have Salmali Dweepa. After that, we have liquor, which is surrounded by Kushadweepa. So where this Agni, the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the form of Agni, is residing over here. Then we have clarified butter, which is surrounded by Kaunchadweepa. After that, we have milk ocean and surrounded by Sakadweepa. After which we have yogurt ocean and we have Manasotra mountains. So on these Manasotra mountains, the Radha, the spoke of the wheel of the Radha of the Surya Deva is residing. So on this, based on this, the sun is rotating on the platform. So 6 months on the southern side, 6 months on the northern side. This is called what is called Uttarayana and Dakshinayana. So for us, it is 6 months. For the Devatas, it is 1 day and one night. When we have the sweet water and we have the golden mountain, the golden ocean, then we have Loka, which in the next classes we are going to see the Loka. So we are going to see till Manasotra mountain today. So this is what? This is the entire miles. So 1 billion miles from here. So it is estimated from a material calculation, the time taken for our sun light to reach the entire circumference is 2000 years. The light to reach. For now, we are seeing in seconds the light is coming to our planet. But to reach this last mile, it takes 2000 years for the light to go. So forget about we taking the journey. This is so much big journey which are going to happen. So here this is what is the entire description till 33 or 37 slokas which we are going to see today. So anyone would like to volunteer to read text 18 to 23, the translations? Hare Krishna, anyone would want to volunteer?
Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, shall I read?
Yes, Padma. 18 to 20.
Okay. Translation. Outside the ocean of clarified water is another island known as Lachadweepa. It has a width of 16 lakhs
1.6 million yojanas.
60 lakhs yojanas. That is lakh miles, twice the width of ocean of clarified water. Kushima is surrounded by an ocean of clarified water. Kraunchadvipa is surrounded by an ocean of as broad as the island itself. On Kraunchadvipa, there is a great mountain known as Krauncha. The island takes its name. Text 20, text 19, sorry. Although the living on the slopes of Mount Krauncha were attacked and devastated by Kartikeya, the mountain has become fearless because it is always bathed on all sides by the ocean of milk and protected by Varunadeva. Text 20. The ruler of this island was another son of Maharaj Priyavrata. His name was Ghritapristha, and he was a very learned scholar. He also divided his own island among his 7 sons. After dividing the island into 7 parts, named according to the names of his son, Ghritapristha Maharaja completely retired from family life and took shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord, the soul of all souls, who has all auspicious qualities. Thus he attained perfection. Text 21. The sons of Maharaja Ghritaprastha were named Ama, Madhuruha, Meghaprastha, Sudhama, Brajista, Lohitarna, and Vanaspati. In their island, there are 7 mountains, which indicate the boundaries of the 7 tracts of land, and there are also 7 rivers. The mountains are named Shukla, Vardhamana, Bhojana, Upabarihina, Nanda, Nandana, and Sarvato Bhadra. The rivers are named Abhaya, Amrutadra, Aryaka, Tirthavati, Rupavati, Pavitravati, and Shukla. Text 22. The inhabitants of Kraunchadvipa are divided into 4 castes called the Purushas, Rishabhas, Dravinas, and Devakas. Using the waters of those sanctified rivers, they worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead by offering the palmful of water at the lotus feet of Varuna, a demigod who has a form of water. Text 23. Inhabitants of Kraunchadvipa worship with this mantra: O water of the rivers, you have obtained energy from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, you purify the 3 planetary systems known as Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, and Swarloka. By your constitutional nature, you take away sins, and that is why we are touching you. Kindly continue to purify us. Hare Krishna.
Text 23. Apaha Purusha Viryasta Punanter Bhurvuvaswaha Tana Punita Ganagnihi Sprustam Atmana Bhuvaniti Itihi. So we have seen the inhabitants of Kraunchadvipa worship with this mantra. So whom they are worshipping? Oh, water of the rivers. So they are worshipping the rivers. You have obtained energy from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, you purify the 3 planetary systems known as Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, and Swarloka. By your constitutional nature, you take away sins, and that is why we are touching you. Kindly continue to purify us. So, what is the nature of the water? It is in the liquid form, so it purifies all of us. The purport says, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita 7.4, Bhumir apo anilo vayuhu kammano buddhir evacha ahankara itiyam me vinna prakriti asada. Here, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego, all together, these 8 comprise my separated material energies. So all these things which you see, the fire, the Agni, the water, which these residents of Kaunchadipa are worshipping, that they are nothing but the separated energies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The energy of the Lord acts through the creation. Just as heat and light, the energies of the sun act within the universe and make everything work. The specific rivers mentioned in the Shastras are also the energies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and people who regularly bath in them are purified. It can actually be seen that many people are cured of these diseases simply by bathing in the Ganges. Similarly, the inhabitants of Kraunchadipa purified themselves by bathing in the rivers there. So, here what people of the Krauntidipa are worshipping the Supreme Personality of our Godhead through the water form. So then this, as we see in this sloka 7.4, the rivers are also the energies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we have seen so many rivers in India, like Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, Godavari, Narmada. All these are nothing but the energies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So not only they purified the body, they purified the diseases of the body. The external diseases also. We have skin, sometimes skin. That also gets purified. So recently we all went to Bidar, right? So Bidar we have gone into the cave uh, through that water body. There is water until the neck deep. We have traversed the entire half a kilometer and got the darshan of the nursing there. So there is one of the saying that the material. Suppose if you think that there is a material aspect also, the water is oozing from the walls of the cave and coming into the and accumulating in the cave. This is loaded with sulfur. So bathing some extent to bathing in the sulfur water creates the skin diseases externally. So that is what is also being mentioned over here. That rivers also purify the external diseases. Not only that, it creates the skin disease of material enjoyment. So we think that we are this body. We don't understand that we are the soul. We think that we are the body. Everything is related to this body. The Prabhupada mentions that this is the skin disease. So we are identifying with our skin. I am this Indian. I am white. I am male. I am female. I am related to so and so. This is nothing but the skin diseases. So when we bath in these divine holy waters, this skin disease also gets purified. So in essence, when we take dip in this holy water, the entire material contamination is lost. So what only thing what we should have is the faith. The faith that these waters are cleaning my material contaminations. So generally, we all know Kumbh Melas are getting organized. Generally, what happens? These Kumbh Melas get organized during the month of January and February. So January and February are considered to be the coldest months. So taking that normal bath is itself very difficult. It's so chilly. Externally, it is chilly, and so we don't want to take cold water. So we are accustomed to take geyser water. We all switch on the geyser and pour the hot water. But when we are asked to do this, we feel so much pain. But Prabhupada you generally was saying everyone has to take bath at the auspicious time in Kumbh Mela in the auspicious month of January and February. So we have to go to Kumbh Mela, deep in the holy waters, and take the bath with faith. But this is not the easy task. So Kumbh Mela means there's lack of resources. So we don't have sufficient resources, sufficient parking places. All those things we can see so much rush will be there. But Prabhupada used to say, this Kumbh Mela is a place of austerity. We have to do this austerity. This is a body should undergo certain tapasya, austerities. So going to Kumbh Mela, worshipping, taking bath in the cold winters, cold season is an austerity, and we should do that. Then what happens? Our consciousness gets purified. So Prabhupada used to take his disciples to Kumbh Mela every time when it is organized. The only thing underlying thing is the faith. So everything depends upon the faith. So presently, what we lack is faith. Do not have sufficient faith. Though we have faith, we put our faith in the wrong things. So Bhagavad Gita, I think 16th chapter, I guess, the faith in the three modes of material nature. When we read this, the faith in the different levels. So when we have the good faith, when we are in the mode of goodness, our faith will increase, and we can transcend to this can transcend about the three modes of material nature. But in spiritual world, they have complete faith on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They have complete faith. This is not a blind faith. So there are two kinds of faith. One is informed and other is uninformed. So when you have sufficient knowledge, when you gain knowledge, the faith derived out of this knowledge is called the informed faith. And the faith which is not based on the shastras or any knowledge, that is called uninformed. That uninformed faith is nothing but blind faith. Like we see a black cat crossing. When we sneeze, when we go out, if we sneeze, we have to wait for 5 minutes. So these are blind faith coming in the tradition. May be true and may not be true, but we are following it without any knowledge. But there are certain faiths which are depend upon the scriptures. What is the scripture? What is the scripture saying? So, Vedesa sarve ahameva Vedanta Vedati eva chaham. So, by reading reading all the Vedas, I am to be known. Krishna is to be the known. So, what faith should we have? So, when we read, when you understand about Krishna, it is as good as saying that I have read all the Vedas. Do we have a faith in that? No. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam saradam maja. So Krishna says, abandon all the kinds of religion, all the kinds of dharma, and surrender unto Krishna. Are we surrendering? No. We do not have faith, sufficient faith. The chanting of the holy names is not different from the supreme personality of Godhead. When you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Actually, Krishna, Radha and Krishna are dancing on our tongue. Do we have faith in that? Do we believe in that? Maybe some of you are believing, but faith has not yet developed in me. And one of the devotee was saying in the Mayapur, this Krishna Hare, once you chant Hare Krishna mantra, only one round, one beat, if you chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, it has enough potency to destroy all the sins. Whatever sin you commit, that can be destroyed by one chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. The problem is we should have faith. When we are not having faith in these holy names, all these things, how can we are going to progress in the spiritual life? So Amrish Maharaj has complete faith. So when Durvasa Muni was trying to kill Amrish Maharaj because of small considered offense, but what is Amrish Maharaj doing? He was simply praying to Krishna. What was Prahlad Maharaj doing? When Hiranyakashipu was torturing him, he has complete faith in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he knows that Krishna is present here in every place. Do we have that faith that Krishna is present in these places? No. The faith is a strong element of our consciousness. So Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhyalila 23, 14, 15 says, Ado Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sangha Tata Bhajana Kriya. The first comes is Ado Shraddha. The first is Shraddha. So invest small faith. So when we start business, we invest at least 1 rupee. So when we invest 1 rupee to do business, we get 10 rupees or 100 rupees. So we should start with Shraddha. When the Shraddha is properly put in the Adhu Sangha, Ada Shraddha Tada Sadhu Sangha. Faith should be on the devotee association of the devotees. So by taking the shelter of Krishna, one's faith is protected. Krishna says, I will protect you whatever you are having, and I will destroy whatever is hindering you. So what is there with us? This body will Krishna is not going to protect this body. Anyway, he says in the Bhagavad Gita, this body is going to destroy. So what is Krishna going to protect? Krishna protects our faith in Krishna's holy name. So by taking the shelter of Krishna, what happens? Our faith in Krishna gets increased. Becomes strong. Residents of Kraunchadipa took shelter of the holy rivers, faith that it will protect them. If you see, is many Maharajas, especially when we read the journey home of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, we read the entire book. You can see many places where Maharaj was sitting on the banks of the rivers. Maybe it's in the Western River. It starts with the Western River, but whatever river may be, he sits on the river and starts meditating, and he sees what is my journey, what is my connection, what is my destination. You can see from the Western everywhere he touches upon the different rivers and he comes to the Ganges, where in the Ganges river, he hears the Hare Krishna mantra. The waves of the Ganges, he could hear Hare Krishna mantra. It happens with all the Maharajas, many Maharajas. Because I'm reading the journey home, I'm quoting this. But all the Maharajas has had different connections with the river bodies and water bodies. So that's why when many places, those who are not aspiring for the spiritual path, when they go to the water bodies, the immediate feeling is some divine aspect is coming. So some people go to the beaches, some go to the landscapes, water bodies. They feel so much pleasant situation there because there is a spiritual atmosphere in the water bodies. So by praying to the water bodies, we can develop faith. So, but as you said, as we are discussing, the faith should be increased. Then how come the faith increases? We have little faith, then how come that faith increases? Faith increases only by association of these devotees. Without satsanga, our faith is not going to increase. Without hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam, our faith is not going to increase. If you sit alone at home and not hear or associate with the devotees, our faith remains, even our faith falls down. We someday or the other we go away from the Krishna consciousness. So it is said, Rinadapi Suniyachena, Tarorapi Sahishnana, Amanina Manadena, Kirtaniya Sadahari. So to chant the holy names, we should have faith. Then how to get that faith in the association of the devotees? How should I associate with the devotees? In the mood of Amanina Manadina. Amanina means tolerant, Manadina means respect. So tolerating devotees. You see so many devotees around us. They are devotees, though we are coming to the devotion, there are certain bad habits still coming. Sometimes the one Mataji will not do the certain things rightly. Prabhuji doesn't behave properly. So there are certain loopholes, there are certain problems which even the devotees have because we are not completely purified. This is a place of ICU. So who will be staying in ICU? Only the disease condition people stay in the ICU. So wherever the satsangs are happening, it is the place of ICU patients. We should see that everyone is getting cured over here. So we should tolerate each and every one of us. So we should not comment upon the other devotee why this person is not doing like why this person is not doing like that. So we should be tolerant. Amanina manada. When we cultivate this Trinadapi Sunichena, then only we can have develop faith. When faith develops, we associate more with the devotees, and faith on the holy names of the Krishna gets increased. That is what the people of Kraunchadeep are doing. So they are developing faith in the association of the devotees. So Hare Krishna, anyone would volunteer to Hare Krishna Akinchan Prabhu 24 to 28 translations. Hare Krishna Akinchan Prabhu. Earlier you were unmuting yourself.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, thank you. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada KJ. Outside the ocean of the milk is another island. What is this? Sakadipa, which has the width of 32 lakhs yojanas, 25 lakhs 600,000 miles. As Karunachad Dvipa is surrounded. Yeah, Karunachad Dvipa is surrounded by its own. What is this?
Own ocean of milk. Ocean of
yeah. Whole ocean of mercy is surrounded by the ocean of churned yogurt, as broad as Island itself. In Sakadvipa, there is a big saka tree, from which the Island takes. No, 1 second, Praveen. Yeah. From which the Island takes its name. This is the tree of very fragrance, and it lends a scent to the entire island. Yeah, this is good. Yeah, the master of the island is also one of the sons of Priyavrata, was known as Medhaiti. He also divided the East Island into 7 sections, named according to his own sons. According to his own sons, whom he made the kings of the island. The names of those sons are Purujova, Manojava, uh,
Pavamana.
Pavamana, Dhurannika, Chitrarekha, Bahurupa, and Vishwadhara, situating his sons as its rulers. Medahiti personally retired and fixed his mind completely upon the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He meditated,
Yes,
Supreme Personality of Godhead. He entered a forest suitable for the meditation.
it's 26.
For these lands also there are 7 boundaries, mountains and 7 rivers. These mountains are Isana, Urungaha, Balabhadra, Satkeshara,
Srasotra.
Susosra. No, sorry, Prabhu. 1 second.
Devapal.
Divapala, and last, what is this?
Mahanasa. Mahanasa.
Mohan. The rivers are Anagha, Ayudha, Ubhayaskripti, Uparjita, Panchapadi, Sahasrasruti, and Nijadriti.
Text 27.
Text and the inhabitants of those islands are also divided into 4 castes: Ritavrata, Satyavrata, Dhanavrata, and Anuvrata, which exactly resembles Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, and Sudra. Sudras practice pranayama and mystic yoga, and in trance they worship the Supreme Lord in the form of Vayu.
28.
Text 78. The inhabitants of Sakadvipa worship Supreme Personality of Godhead in the form of Vayu. In the following words, O Supreme Personality, O Supreme Person situated at the Super Soul within the body, you direct the various actions of the different airs such as prana, and thus you maintain all the living entities. O Lord, O Super Soul of everyone, O controller of the cosmic manifestation under manifestation under whom everything exists, may you protect us from all the dangers.
Correct.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Text number 28. Anta pravishya bhutani yo viprati atmaketubhi antaryami ishvara sakshat patu no yadvase sputam. Perfect. Through the mystic yoga practice called pranayama, the yogi controls the airs within the body to maintain the body in a healthy condition. In this way, the yogi comes into the point of trance and tries to see the super soul within the core of his heart. Pranayama is a means to attain samadhi, trance, in order to fully absorb oneself in seeing the Supreme Lord as Antaryami, the super soul within the core of the heart. So earlier we have seen in the earlier slokas, 18 to 23rd slokas, the one should develop faith. So how are we going to develop faith? By associating in the association of devotees in the mood of Amanida Manadena. So there we have seen the tolerance. What is the real tolerance then? The real tolerance is explained in this sloka. The real tolerance is sincerely hearing the glories of the Krishna. So when we are sincerely hearing the glories of Krishna, that is real tolerance. The person may be a novice speaker, medium speaker, or an advanced speaker, but that is the real tolerance. Attending the Srimad Bhagavatam classes like this Saturday and Sunday and Ekadashis is a real tolerance. So you are tolerating me. I do not know how I am speaking. I when I hear my lecture again, I cannot tolerate my speech. So you are all tolerating me. That is a real tolerance. That is what's happening. Sincere hearing of the glories of the Krishna. So, to understand all these things, to understand Krishna, we have to accept the authorities. Without accepting an authority, we cannot understand about Krishna. It is difficult to explain visibly the items we see. We have seen so many islands, 1.6 million yojanas, 12 lakh yojanas, this much yojanas. How are we going to understand this? It is impossible to describe about this shloka. But if we accept the authority and practice, then we also get realization. So we hear about the holy names, we hear about the various pastimes, but we are not able to realize. Why? Because we are not, there is some lack of sincerity. So when we are sincere towards hearing this holy name, when we accept the authority, so that's why His Grace Lilananda Prabhu always stresses upon, if you want to progress in the spiritual path, we have to accept a guru. Without taking the initiation of a guru, we are not going to progress in the spiritual path. That is the acceptance of the authority. So if we accept the authority and practice, then we also get realization. So it is not, so many of our friends say, my friends said, oh, Prahlad is so great. So Prahlad has tolerated so many tortures. He's a very great person, very nice. It doesn't happen with us. I cannot do that. Yes, we cannot do that because we do not have any realization. So we cannot imitate Prahlad Maharaj. But when we follow Prahlad Maharaj's teachings, it is also possible to realize what Prahlad is also realizing. So there are so many people like scientists, all those people. So they're doing so much research on what is this Bhumandala. So we know that ISRO has sent a satellite towards the sun to study the structures of this sun. So next chapter of Bhagavatam 21, you can see the movements of the sun very precisely mentioned. And if you hear the chapter and you see ourselves practically, so much matches. It is simple. A common person like us can read by reading Srimad Bhagavatam and can understand the movements of the sun. And people, scientists, they are going to the sun, doing all those research. They are wasting so much money, so much time. So when we accept the authority, what happens? It saves a lot of time from doing research. What is other other planets? So we are seeing whether what is there in the moon, what is there on the Mars. You do all the research whether life is there on the other planet. Do you think that the life is only on the earth and all the other places there is no other life? There are certain other lives. There are bodies might be different. Like it's not like our body, but there is certain people. We can see so many. That Priyavarta has divided the islands into different portions and given to the different sons. Means there is inhabitants there. There are so many places where the inhabitants there. So if you accept this authority, if you accept this Srimad Bhagavatam, our lot of time gets saved. There are people all over the creation, not along the earth. So all the demigods they give us different material benefits. So we take so many material benefits from this devata, that devata. But residents are here. You can see the residents of the are worshipping devatas in the right manner. So Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, so worshipping devatas is not wrong. But worshipping devatas independent of the supreme personality of Godhead is wrong. So the people we are doing worship in the wrong way. So we can understand from this the residents how to worship the devatas. The residents are worshipping devatas in the right order as the representatives of the supreme personality of Godhead. They are representatives. These prayers are ultimately directed to the supreme person. Yes, we can worship Ganesha, we can worship Lord Shiva, but in relation with the supreme personality of Godhead. All this, all this you can see that pranayama, they do the pranayama, yogic postures, all these things. They know the supreme personality of Godhead situates in everyone's heart as a super soul. Ishvara Sarva Bhutana Hidadeshe Arjuna Tishadi. Bhagavad Gita 18.61 Krishna says, I am seated in the everyone's heart. all the residents of this Kraunchadipa, Jambudipa, all the people, they know that Krishna is seated inside them as Paramatma. That is what we can learn from this. And you can also see over here, there is a Pranavayu. You direct the various actions of the different airs, such as prana and dust. So, with respect to the air spoken in this purport, what does Prabhupada mean is, if anyone dies, so we believe in science, right? There is so much science happening. If you believe in science, ask any scientist or any doctor to inject air inside the person and bring them to life. No doctor has done that. No scientist has created such an instrument. So when you pump air, the life comes out. This is pranavayu. Who is circulating it? You direct the various actions of the direct different airs. There are 5 types of air: prana, apana, vayana. There are 5 kinds of airs. The movement of these airs are completely directed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The ordinary material science cannot do these things. Every entity has a life air. So we are breathing, right? There is life air, pranavayu coming out. Means there is consciousness. That is a symptom of the soul. And the soul is part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is what in the previous chapter also, all the devatas, we have seen in the previous chapter, 19th chapter, all the devatas are praying to take birth in this land, in this Bharatavarsha, especially in the Jambudipa, Bharatavarsha. So we are all situated in that place where the devatas are worship, trying to get a body. So that's why Chaitanya Prabhu is saying, Bharata Bhumite Haile, Manusha Janma Yad, Janma Sartaka Kari, Karo Paropakar. So when we have taken this in the birth in this Bharatavarsha in a human body, what is our prime responsibility? Do Paropakar. What is Paropakar? So you can give money, food, all those things, clothes, etc. But the para upakar means the highest of the upakar, highest of the benediction is giving the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So you do the Hare Krishna mantra and give the Hare Krishna mantra to all. That is what is para upakar. Being born in the Bharatavarsha, this is the prime responsibility. And what are these? What are these residents are praying for? You protect us from all the dangers. So why does a person why does a person think there is a danger? Because of the presence of the fear. When there is a fear, there is a chance of getting the danger. So fear is an emotion caused by the expectation of the danger. So when you expect a danger, you are afraid or unfavorable situations. Suppose you are asked to go to a place which you do not know. You cannot anticipate certain things. You are naturally afraid. You do so many research. What is that about that place? And then you go. You blindly doesn't go to that place because you are afraid. So that's what an example that we had heard in the Bidar Yatra. Prahlad prays to Narsingadev in Srimad Bhagavatam 7:9-16 to protect from the material contamination. So Prahlad Maharaj, after Hiranyakashipu was killed, he is asking Narsingadev to protect him from the contamination. So in the line of Prahlad Maharaj, we have to pray to protect us from the contamination of the 3 modes of the material nature. This fear, which we are seeing daily, is like eating, sleeping. It's natural. We eat, we sleep, we breathe air. We also get afraid, get fear. This is natural in this material world because we are conditioned in these 3 modes of the material nature. Prahlad Maharaj was asking to remove that fear. Then we shouldn't we fear? We should fear because this is a place of Dukhalayam Ashashvatam. Bhagavad Gita says this is Dukhalayam and Ashashvatam. So we are naturally, the fear naturally comes out. Fear is born along with our birth. So by the time we take birth, fear is also born. We cannot say that I am fearless. Everyone is afraid of something. But all the people in this world are afraid of death. So when yesterday when I was coming in the flight from Kolkata, there was turbulence. So the flight was shaking. So immediately till that time I was thinking that I'm fearless. I was speaking so much about death. I'm saying telling to all my friends or colleagues that we should not get afraid of death. But when this plane started shaking, immediately my heart raced. Peter started speaking very fast because I am afraid. So each and everyone, whether we are saying we are fearless, we are afraid of death because this material world, in this material world, we cannot do anything about death. That's why scientists has conveniently left this concept of death. They are not speaking about this death. But anyway, we cannot do anything about it. Why should bother about? So there is a problem, then there is no solution. So why should we worry about the death? But spirituality is not like that. So in Bidar Yatras, His Grace Lilananda Prabhu was saying, if we are not informed about death, we cannot lead our life properly. One should have, one should know about death. Then only we can lead a life of responsible life. Otherwise, one day or the other, we are also going to die. The what is that as a devotee, what should be our consciousness? Anta kalecha mameva swaramukta kalevaram. At the last moment, we are supposed to think about Supreme Personality of Godhead. If we are not worried about the death, then we cannot do all this chanting. Then why chanting? Why should we chant in the morning Brahmurta? I can chant anyway. I can chant 1 round, 2 rounds. We are supposed to chant 16 rounds. We have to hear the Prabhupada lectures. We have to read about Prabhupada books. So how can we understand this urgency? Only when we understand the effect of death. The cancers, the heart diseases, etc. are all real diseases which are part of our lives. Padam padam yat vipadam natesham. Srimad Bhagavatam says, every step there is a danger. And these dangers are not solved by money. How much rich you are, whether you hold so any all with all the riches of this entire planet, we cannot solve this Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi. At any step, there is a danger of death. One may ignore his death. We may conveniently ignore our death, old age, by hiding, by putting hair dyes, all these things. But these 4 problems are not going to forget us. They are going to come. The Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi are going to come one day or the other. So, in essence, the conclusion is as long as one remains within this confines of the material reality. So, if you are only understanding about this material reality, fear will be a constant factor. If you are material consciousness, our fear is more. If you are spiritual consciousness, fear is less. That's why Prahlad Maharaj is not fearful of Hiranyakashipu. So, the devotee's view is that, so Prabhupada mentions that devotees are trained to understand the root cause of the fear. So devotees, the day one, when we all have undergone the SSR, right? That what is SSR? In search of happiness. What are we going to hear in that? Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi, Adhyavika, Adibhautika, Adhyatmika Klesha. So our goal is to go back to Godhead. So our problems, our fear is Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi. Is the day one, the devotee is trained in that. So 1 week, those who are into Krishna consciousness for 1 week, they understand what is their fear. What is our fear? The material contamination. Thinking that I am this body, I am this material body, I am not the soul. We think that. By theoretically or practically, from day one, we are trained in that. So, I am not this body. That is the devotee's mood. What is the solution? What am I going to do? How can I avoid this danger? The solution is reading the words of this Lord Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. We realize fear is the part and parcel of this material world. The Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, this material world is full of fear. The root cause is false conception of our identity. So, in chapter 1 of Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna says, fear of sinful reactions. If I kill this person, kill my family, I will get sin. I'm getting, there is a fear. We understand, right? So, what does Krishna start with? Krishna starts that you are not this body, you are the soul. He gives the identity. False conception of our identity is given. So, devotees respond to every step of danger by taking the shelter of the holy name. So, every step there is a danger. How do we take shelter? We should take the shelter in the holy name. This happens only by faith. When there is faith in the holy name, we can take shelter of the holy name. So Dehino Esmin Yatade He Kaumaram Yamanam Jara Tata Dehantara Sprapti Dhirastatra Mohati. So Dhira, an intelligent person, is not bewildered by this change of Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi, change of this body. So Dhira means the question is do we have faith? So I'm going to get the new body, am I going to get a Anta Kalecha Mameva Saranmukta after this body, if I stay in Krishna consciousness, I'm going back to Godhead. Are we having that faith? Faith increases by hearing to the glories of the Krishna. Otherwise, our faith is not going to happen. The greatest danger for a devotee is forgetful of Krishna. The devotees also get afraid, but only thing is they're afraid that they might get forget Krishna. Ask for that protection. Here, the people of the Sakatipa are asking to protect us from all the dangers. As a devotees, we should ask that we should not be forgetful of Krishna. Every moment we should live for Krishna, think for Krishna. Never forget Krishna, always remember Krishna. This is our philosophy. So anyone would like to volunteer for 29 sloka, 29 to 33rd? Hare Krishna, anyone would volunteer?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Srivale Mataji.
Yeah, now I can see Prabhuji. Yeah. All Grace Srila Prabhupada. Outside the ocean of yogurt, I'm sorry. It's too
small.
Yeah, it's too small. Can you? What I do, I'll take out my book. Outside the ocean of yogurt is another island known as, sorry, Pushkara Dvipa. Okay, which is 64 billion yojanas wide, twice as wide.
Twice as wide.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Prabhuji, better I will take my book.
Okay,
Sorry, can you give me just 1 second? I brought my book.
For me, somehow that database is not getting open. I don't know.
Yeah. No problem, Prabhuji. Actually, I have it. I'm sorry to keep you waiting. So it's Prabhuji Shloka 20. Prabhuji Shloka 30.
Yes. So 29 to 30.
29 to 30. Okay, Prabhuji, I got it. Yeah. Outside the ocean of yogurt is another island known as Pushkara Dvipa, which is 64 million yojanas wide, twice as wide as the ocean of yogurt. It is surrounded by an ocean of very tasteful water, as broad as the island itself. On Pushkara Dvipa, there is a great lotus flower with 10 par 8 pure golden petals, as effulgent as the flames of fire. That lotus flower is considered the sitting place of Lord Brahma, who is the most powerful living being and who is therefore sometimes called Bhagavan. Yeah. And the text 30. In the middle of that island is a great mountain named Manasottara, which forms the boundary between the inner side and outer side of the island. Its breadth and height are 10,000 yojanas. On that mountain, in the 4 directions, are the residential quarters of the demigods such as Indra. In the chariot of the sun god, the sun travels on the top of the mountain in an orbit called the Samvatsara, encircling Mount Meru. The sun's path on the northern side is called Uttarayana, and its path on the southern side is called Dakshinayana. One side represents a day for the demigods, and the other represents their night. Hare Krishna, thank you.
31 to 33 also.
Yeah, sure, Prabhuji. 31 shloka. The ruler of this island, the son of Maharaja Priyavrata, named Vithihotra, had 2 sons named Ramanaka and Dhatiki. He granted the 2 sides of the island to these 2 sons and then personally engaged himself in the activities for the sake of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, like his elder brother Medhatithi. 32. For the fulfillment of the material desires, the inhabitants of this tract of land worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead as represented by Lord Brahma. They offer prayers to the Lord as follows. 33. Lord Brahma is known as Karma Maya, the form of ritualistic ceremonies, because by performing ritualistic ceremonies, one may attain his position, and because the Vedic ritualistic hymns become manifest from him. He is devoted to the Supreme Personality of Godhead without deviation, and therefore, in one sense, he is not different from the Lord. Nevertheless, he should be worshipped not as the monists worship him, but in duality. One should always remain a servitor of the Supreme Lord, the supreme worshipable deity. We therefore offer our respectable obeisances unto Lord Brahma, the form of manifest Vedic knowledge.
Great.
Hare Krishna.
Ecstatic. Yet tat karmamayam lingam brahmalingam janavarchaye ekantam advayam hantam tasmai bhagavate nama iti. In this verse, the word karmamayam, obtainable by the Vedic ritualistic system, is significant. The Vedas, Swadharma nishta sada janavi puman virichatam eti. One who strictly he follows the principles of Varnashrama Dharma for at least 100 births will be rewarded with the post of Lord Brahma. It is also significant that although Lord Brahma is extremely powerful, he never thinks himself as one with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He also always knows that he is an eternal servitor of the Lord. Because the Lord and the servant are identical on the platform, Brahma is here and addressed as Bhagavan. Bhagavan is Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. But if a devotee serves him with a full faith, the meaning of the Vedic literature is revealed to him. Therefore, Brahma is called Brahmalinga, which indicates that his entire form consists of Vedic knowledge. So here we know that Brahma is the supreme living entity in this material world. Our Paramaguru, Brahma Madhva Sampradaya, headed by Brahma, is the highest living entity in the topmost living entity in this material world. We know all these things. So we have seen that the Brahma Kamala coming, and the top of the Kamala, that Brahma is sitting. How is that Brahma? It is around 10 to the power 8 golden petals. On the top of this the lotus petal, Brahma is sitting. So what is the qualification of becoming Brahma is here? One who strictly follows the Varnashrama Dharma for at least 100 births. Varnashrama Dharma. So all the four Dharmas, you know, so that Varnas, if you perfectly follow for at least 100 lifetimes, then we are qualified to become as a Brahma. So next after this Brahma, Lord Hanuman is going to be the Brahma for us. So when you practice this Varnashrama system, then we are going to get the Brahma. So sometimes here you can see here Brahma is also referred to as Bhagwan. Sometimes Brahma is referred to as Bhagwan, Narada is referred to as Bhagwan, Shiva is referred to as Bhagwan. Why? Because they carry Supreme Personality of Godhead in their hearts. That's why they are called Bhagwan. Though they are highest, a living entity, topmost living entity, what is Brahma doing? He is always worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. Sometime when we become the CEO of the company, I think, oh, I am the CEO of the company. Everyone should respect me. Why? Why should I care about God? I'm a CEO, vice president, all those things. Brahma is a vice president, the king of all the entire material planet. And what is he is doing? He is was surrendered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is why he is called Brahmalinga. So what is this what does our Brahmalinga mean? Brahmalinga means one who is filled with knowledge and intelligence. Here the Brahmalinga is very much key in this verse. So knowledge and intelligence. Knowledge means knowledge about the Vedic scriptures, not material. Okay, material science is okay. We should get that, but that is not the criteria. The criteria of knowledge is we should understand all the Vedas. By understanding Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead is the conclusion of the entire Vedas. If you know who is Krishna, you are the most knowledgeable person. Krishna says, I will give you that knowledge to understand me. So one should surrender to the supreme personality of Godhead and intelligence. So what is that intelligence? You all have intelligence, right? So what is the difference between animal and human? Is intelligence. So what is that intelligence used for? The Brahma is serving Supreme Personality of Godhead, although he is very intelligent. So being an intelligent person, he is also worshipping Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, one who worships Supreme Personality of Godhead is an intelligence. So, whatever we are carrying, whether we are 10th pass, 10th fail, intermediate, or double postgraduate, vice president, whatever it may be, if you are not worshipping Supreme Personality of Godhead, you are not intelligent. If you are worshipping Supreme Personality of Godhead, then only we are called intelligent person. The material world, everyone is struggling to get knowledge. We are all going to, we all go to, we went to school. We are sending our children to the school. Why? Why? To gain knowledge. So, but today, especially in Kali Yuga, we are going for external packaging. External packing is important, not the internal matter. So we go to the higher schools, but internally there is no transformation. To gain so much of knowledge, but there is no transformation. So information, but no transformation. So knowledge means getting that information, and we have to transform ourselves into a better person. So the purpose of knowledge is to make one humble. So we are getting educated not to get a higher salary or a higher position or higher recognition. We should be humble enough. That is the purpose of the education. If we read Bhagavad Gita also, after reading Bhagavad Gita, if we say that yes, I have completed all the 700 slokas, I know everything, and we are not humble, that knowledge is also useless. The motto of reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam is to make us humble. The details of knowledge. One may have, so if you see the entire all these islands, we see, so we are tiny speck. So one speck in this entire material creation, it should humble us. So sitting in this, in Hyderabad, we are thinking, I am the greatest person, I am the supreme personality of Godhead. Like, but we do not know how to cross this material deepas. So hearing this, all these 9 deepas, then it should make us humble. How insignificant am I in this entire material creation? One may have material intelligence, but ends up in frustration. If you have lots of material intelligence, ultimately we are going to be frustrated. Why? Srila Prabhupada in Canto 3 gives us a formula for satisfaction. Then in the one sloka, Rishabhadeva mentions, for income, a devotee must get satisfied with whatever he gets without greater endeavor, whatever amount we are getting, that is what benefits us. We should not unnecessarily endeavor for more and more salaries. One should not eat more than a hatyahara prayasascha. We had Rupa Goswami in Nectar of Instant mentions. We should not eat more and more. We should not sleep more and more. One should live in a secluded place. So does it mean that I should go to a farther no uninhabited land? No. Living in a secluded place means give time to yourself. Perfect your sadhana. Perfect your reading. Improve as a devotee yourself. Then we can reach others. So Krishna Varnam Tisha Krishnam Sangav Pangasa Parshadam Yajna Sankirtana Prayer Yajanti hi Sumedasaha. Krishna says 11.5-32. So one who takes this Harinama Sankirtana, one who is Sumedasa, one who is intelligent. So in developing intelligence is very much important. Then only we can take up this Krishna consciousness. Every soul has a personal relationship with Krishna. Some have forgotten it, some have revived it. Who does this service? One who is intelligent. So Medasaha. So Kapila Muna was also saying that in the third canto, don't endeavor extraneously for what is destined for. So what we are destined for so many things. We get happiness, we get distress. So whatever we are getting by destiny, don't endeavor more for that. According to one's karma, the happiness and distress will come. But what are we doing? We are going against this karma. Suppose today I'm supposed to get 10,000 rupees as my karma. I will get it 10,000. But if I endeavor for more than 10,000, I'm going against the karma. What happens when we go against karma? Ultimately, we are going to get frustrated. The frustration is nothing but going against our karma. So whatever is destined, you accept it. So His Grace Ananda Vrindavan Prabhu says, what is intelligence? As I suppose we are doing certain businesses, right? So in business we keep 1 rupee and we get 10 rupees out of as return. Isn't the business fruitful? Is my investment very much intelligent? Suppose if I put 10 rupees in a business and I get only 1 rupee as a return, am I considered to be intelligent? No. So putting 1 rupee and I getting 10 rupees is the real intelligence. So what is real intelligence as a devotee? I am doing small seva. I am chanting the holy names, associating with the devotees, reading Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. This is the little input which we can do. For this little input, what am I going to get? I am getting the eternal. I am going to reside eternally along with Krishna and his devotees. Isn't it the greatest intelligence? That is the real intelligence. Do this Krishna conscious activity, and we are going to get highest returns by Krishna. So one can practice Krishna in all situations, whether we are a grihastha, vanaprastha, whatever situation we are in, whether in an IT job or non-IT job, we can do the Krishna conscious activities. The memory, shloka recitations are not at all. Yes, if you have that, is well and good. But that is not the criteria for Krishna Bhakti. Our Krishna Bhakti is doing spontaneous devotion. Whatever is capable. Cooking prasadam, do it. Whatever is possible to you, you can do it. So practice according to the previous acharya. How the previous acharyas followed, we have to practice in that way. Don't criticize anyone. Do not criticize anyone. Don't do Vaishnava Aparadha. Chant Hare Krishna. These 2 things, if we can do, we are guaranteed to go back to God. This is very much simple. This is what all the acharyas are saying. Intelligent people want challenges. The problem with intelligence is intelligent people want challenges, some kind of challenge, and they cannot accept what is simple. But that's why Srila Prabhupada, when he went to the Western countries, he has given book distribution, all those things. So actually, book distribution, all those things should be done. So no, that is as part of the service. So an ordinary materialistic person is also distributing so many encyclopedias. So what is the difference between selling an encyclopedia and selling a Bhagavad Gita? Ultimately, if we are not becoming humble, one should become humble. That is the idea of doing the service. Intelligence can be controlled and sharpened. We can control our intelligence and can be sharpened, irrespective of our own upbringing, by studying and hearing this Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. If you are not reading by Shastras, especially Srila Prabhupada books, we are going to go away from Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada mentioned in one of his lectures, if you do not read my books, one day you eat, sleep, and go away from Krishna consciousness. So regularly read Krishna consciousness. So today, to the satsang, His Grace Keshavananda Prabhu is coming. He is very much expert in teaching how to read Prabhupada's books. Ask him how to read. He will explain you. There is a lecture. Here his lecture, and we'll understand how to read Prabhupada books. A good intelligence should help a devotee to introspect. What should our intelligence do? It should help us introspect what is good and what is bad, what is right and what is wrong. At what time should I chant and what should I chant, at what time should I not chant? That is what we should understand. So there are so many islands we have seen, like this Lakshadweep, Jambudweep, all the Saladeep. We see so many islands in this. Yet all these things are required to better understand. But the entire creation, Jambudweepa is considered the highest. And among the Jambudweepa, Bharatavarsha is considered to be the highest benediction. And among the Bharatavarsha, the land of Bharat is considered to be the highest. And the land of Bharat has also have 9 islands, which is nothing but the Navadip Dham, Mayapur Dham ki jai. So these are the 9 islands present in the in and around Mayapur. One should go and visit it. It's altogether a different place. So when we reside in the this Navadip Mayapur Dham, it is like good like staying in the Goloka Vrindavan. This is none different than Goloka Vrindavan Dham. So go to this place, explore all these islands, do the parikrama at least once in a lifetime. So Acharyas mentioned that in Namadev Dham, the book called Namadev Dham Mahatmya, Sachidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur has mentioned that if you go to this dham once in a year, and what you have to do in the dham, sit with the devotees and chant the holy names. If you chant this holy name 16 rounds in the association of devotees in this Navadev 9 dhams, we cross all the dhams, Jambudeep, all the deeds, and go back to Godhead, Supreme Personality of Godhead, without any fail, because this is what Acharyas wants us to do. Yasya Pradada Bhagavat Prasado. So this is what makes Acharyas please. When you do that, we are going to go back to God. Hare Krishna. At this point, I would like to solve this slokas. Sorry, class. Chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Visit Mayapur Dham, all the dhams, and association of devotees. You chant the holy names. We are going to perfect our Krishna consciousness very easily. Hare Krishna. At this point, I would like to open this forum for your realizations. Any questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. At the end, Prabhuji, you have shown one picture, Prabhu, where all the cosmic creation is there, I guess.
Yes. This one?
See, in that you shown that Jambudipa is at center, Prabhu.
Yes.
And all there at outside.
These are on the concentric circles.
So this is one. Okay, this is one universe. We can say whatever you are showing is one universe.
Brahmanda.
Or this is one Brahmanda. Okay, fine.
This is the entire creation. We are seeing this plane. We are seeing this Bhuloka plane.
Okay. This is Bhuloka.
Outside this mountain, this is called Loka mountain, which we are going to hear from Lilananda Prabhu on 19th. Loka Aloka. So here people are residing. Loka. Here people are not residing. Aloka. So from that topmost planetary systems, all the planetary systems are there. So this is the
okay. So till that yellow color is Bhuloka.
Yes, it's called Bhumandala.
Bhumandala. Okay. So, but if you call that as a Bhuloka, Prabhu, then we don't see all these things like a milk ocean, all these things, right? So it is becoming very difficult to understand, Prabhu. That is a challenge I have.
So that is what is the 33rd through 37th sloka also mentions about that. Say material calculations. If we hear this, we cannot understand this. We can easily accept that I am this body. I'm not this body. I'm the soul. We will accept it. We have accepted Ambarish Maharaj. We have done it. We have Jagannatha Mukta. We have accepted it. The Gajendra prayed and gone back to Godhead. We are happy with this, right? We are convinced about this. There is no doubt. But when it comes to Jambudvipa, we are unable to accept this. I am not able to see all these things, all these islands, all these mountains. So, what does Gaur Gopal Das mentioned over here is that it is Ardha Kukuta Nyaya. We all have that Ardha Kukuta Nyaya. Ardha Kukuta Nyaya.
Okay.
Kukuta means hen. We all are suffering from Kukuta means hen. So there is a story of this hen. So one businessman purchases his hen. So daily it gives one egg, few eggs. Then he is selling that egg for certain rupees and getting profit. So one day he was thinking, so from the front I am feeding grains, from the back I am taking eggs. So what does businessman think? If I reduce inputs, and I will get profits more, isn't it? So today I will reduce inputs. So what does the businessman do? He will cut the hen into half. The front portion is consuming, and second portion is giving me profits. So what happens when you cut the hen into half? Does the hen give the egg? No.
Correct.
So what has happened is we take things which are convenient for us, and we reject things which are not convenient for us. Right?
Okay.
So we are happy with all the pastimes of the Lord, but when it comes to Jambudvipa, his creation, we are not able to accept it.
Yeah, because we do not see. Okay.
So we rely more on our eyes.
Okay.
So what is the we know that Prataksha Pramana is as a flaw. So if
Okay.
you try to see this, there is a flaw that. So what is the Pramana for us? Shabda Pramana. Hear it from the authority.
Hmm.
The authority is Srimad Bhagavatam.
Hmm.
Sometimes Srimad Bhagavatam also puts challenges to our intelligence. There are so many people, Gyanis, who wants to keep so much work on their intelligence. It's a challenge for those things, right? For a devotee, it's okay. Yes, how wonderful my Lord is. He creating so much islands, and He has given me Navadip Dham, Mayapur. Go there, Navadip Dham. From there, you can go back to Godhead. So no need to cross all this loka. All those things are not required for all of us. But this is what a devotee should think. So isn't this easy when we are on the Sabda Pramana? So this is a classic example of Pramana. So if you want to see, you cannot understand this. You have to understand by accepting from the authority from the Srimad Bhagavatam.
Okay, understood. Understood the explanation. So Jambu Dvipa is at least materially 7 islands we have in this earth which we could see, Prabhu. All
Yes,
these 7 islands are within this Jambu Dvipa?
Jambudvipa, we have the Varshas. Each and every Dvipa is divided into Varsha.
Okay.
So every Dvipa there is a Varsha. Or one of the Varsha was called Ilavarta Varsha. I think I have one day I have shared in the WhatsApp group where I think one Prabhuji was asking. So there were 9 islands, 9 Varshas were there. And presently the Ilavarsha was renamed as Bharata Varsha.
Okay.
In that Bharata Varsha, Bharata Bhumi is there.
Okay.
That is what. So that's what Sankalpa you say. Jambudvipe, Bharata Varsha, Bharata Kandi. The specific location we are talking. So if you are interested more about all these things, Pavaneshwar Prabhu, I think I have shared you that link. I will try to share.
What is the name, Prabhu?
Pavaneshwar Prabhu, Vedic cosmology. Go to Amazon, Vedic cosmology, Pavaneshwar Prabhu, I think. He has done a very good research on this. Very simply he gives.
Okay.
So you can understand what is all these things, silence.
Okay.
For us, yes, we hear this the 9 islands from this Bhagavatam. We accept it as a material creation of the Lord, and it should make us humble. I am tiny, insignificant before this. All the people of the residents are worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead in different elements. We also have to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Supreme Krishna. That is what we have to understand from this verses.
All right.
We have to understand. And also get understanding about Navadip Dham. That Navadip Dham is sufficient. About Mayapur, if you understand, our life is perfected. This is what I understood in the last 3 days. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Wonderful explanation, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Any more questions?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Danvat
Yes,
Pranam. Thank you so
Pranam.
much. Well, first of all, I should thank for the wonderful class as usual. So it's not about tolerating Prabhuji. We are really relishing this nectar given by you just now. Just half an hour ago, you were saying the tolerating. No, it's not at all tolerating thing. So wonderful topic. And Prabhuji, actually I was about to ask the same question which just Prasad Prabhu asked, and it was clarified that the Prabhuji, one more thing, and you were saying about the destiny.
Yes. Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna Srivali Mataji, are you there?
So is it only applied for the material thing, Prabhuji, or it's
there is a pause before. I could not. Can you pass the question once again?
యా షూర్ ప్రభుజీ. మీరు డెస్టినీ గురించి చెప్పినప్పుడు మీరు దాని గురించి అధిక ప్రయాస పడకూడదు, ఇది మన రాతలోనే ఉంటుంది, ఇంత రావాలి అనుకుంటే మనకు అంత వస్తుంది అని చెప్పారు. సో యాక్చువల్ గా ఈ క్వశ్చన్ ఇద్దరు ముగ్గురిని కూడా అడిగాను, బికాస్ ఐఎమ్ సారీ ఫర్ దిస్, ఐ కుడెంట్ గెట్ ద సాటిస్ఫాక్టరీ ఆన్సర్. సో ఇక్కడ డెస్టినీలో మనకి ఎంత ఉంటుంది అనేది వచ్చేది, ఇస్ ఇట్ ఓన్లీ అప్లైడ్ ఫర్ అవర్ మెటీరియల్ థింగ్ ప్రభుజీ, అంటే మెటీరియలిస్టిక్ దీంట్లోనే ఉందా ఆర్ స్పిరిచువల్ లో కూడా? ఎందుకంటే దీని వల్ల ఏమవుతుందంటే వి స్టాప్ అవర్ ఎండీవర్స్. So obviously, so whatever is there in our destiny, that we will take it. So how we can understand this? So how can we get an inspiration for the more, endeavoring anything? We want to bring someone into the Krishna consciousness. We want to preach someone. So how can it be applicable?
So what you said, the destiny applies karma. The destiny is karma. The punya karma and papa karma. So that is entirely around the material, what material things you are getting it. That those things are completely on the karma.
Okay.
So for the spirituality, it doesn't depend upon the destiny. It depends upon the mercy of the Supreme Person. Godhead.
Yes.
Desire is karma is different, and mercy of the Supreme Lord is different.
Yes.
So we should not go against the karma. So we should not work more than required as per our karma. But when you are in the spiritual path, we have to aspire more and more for the mercy. We cannot say we will say by mercy, by your mercy, by your mercy. How does mercy come here when you are not seeking for it?
Yes.
You have to seek for it. So it is two way. The spirituality and the material life are in the two opposite directions. So materially, you should not strive much and much. Yes, we have as a grihastha, we have to do our duties. Whatever is possible, you have to do. If happiness is coming or distress is coming, accept it as a karma. But don't try to endeavor more and more. Suppose if you are failing, you try. Suppose one skill you are trying. You are trying for one time, you are failing. 2 times you try, 3 times you try, you are failing. Then one stage you have to say that this is not for me. You have to stop. This is not in my destiny. I cannot do this. To try for another talent. This is how you go for another talent. So when you identify the talent, you engage the talent in the service of the Lord. That is bhakti. So every time what are you praying for? Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Goraksha Nama. We are all praying for the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the holy names. So we have to be eager to chant more and more, improve our chanting more and more. So how does it improve? When you hear about chanting, when you hear about all these things, we have to do more and more seva. Then only we get taste for chanting. So Namaruchi comes with Vaishnava Seva and Jivadaya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Vaishnava, you have to do Vaishnava Seva and Jivadaya. So preaching in different ways. So this is, you have to do more and more in this. You have to be eager more and more in this spiritual path. Spirituality doesn't depend upon your destiny. It solely depends upon Krishna's mercy. You have to endeavor more and more. Don't be satisfied with whatever you are getting in the spiritual life.
Spiritual life. Okay, Prabhuji. So, thank you. But Prabhuji, one karma ankunnapudu, because even our children, it's a mercy of Lord.
Yes.
So it's our duty to bring them into Krishna consciousness. At least we'll do that thing. But if they, I'm not saying about my personal thing because I'm been going through with many Matajis because they are last. సో ఎప్పుడైతే పిల్లలు ఇందులోకి రారు లేదా చెప్పిన మాట వినరు కొన్ని సార్లు వింటారు బికాస్ ఇట్స్ ఆర్ డ్యూటీ టు వాళ్ళని సక్రమ మార్గంలో పెట్టడం చేయటం వీటిల్లో ఉంటుంది. వాళ్ళు భగవంతుడి యొక్క గిఫ్ట్ భగవంతుడు మనకి ఇచ్చారు కొన్నాళ్ళకి బికాస్ దే ఆర్ అండర్ అవర్ కేర్ నౌ బికాస్ దే కేమ్ త్రూ అస్ నాట్ ఫ్రమ్ అస్. సో అలాంటప్పుడు ఆర్ వి డూయింగ్ అవర్ బెస్ట్ టు బ్రింగ్ దెమ్ ఇన్ టు కృష్ణ కాన్షియస్నెస్? హౌ టు బ్రింగ్, బికాస్ వీ కాంట్ లీవ్ దెమ్ ఇట్స్ దేర్ డెస్టినీ ఆర్ దేర్ కర్మ వాళ్ళది అనేది మనం వదిలేయలేం. ఐఎమ్ రియలీ అనేబుల్ టు ఐఎమ్ రియలీ కన్ఫ్యూజ్డ్ ఇన్ దీస్ థింగ్స్. కెన్ యూ ప్లీజ్?
Only thing what we can, because only thing what we can do is, first thing is we have to sincerely pray to the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Okay.
So, and make our environment friendly for that Krishna consciousness. Children learn by seeing, but they don't learn by teaching. They see and learn. If we are doing sincerely and practicing, they will one day or the other, they will also come into Krishna consciousness. This is not my word. This is what Anandamindra Prabhu says. We have to struggle more and more. As a parent, it is our responsibility to bring our children, and it is not an easy job. It's a very tough job. So it starts with our own practice. If we are practicing very sincerely and pray for the Supreme Lord that please help them to bring the Krishna consciousness, make a Krishna conscious and make available that all the books, Prabhupada books, easy books, whatever at the level,
Yes,
some
yes.
story books, all those things, make it available.
Okay.
To bring to the satsangs. So by
Yes.
seeing you learn, all parents learn, they will also one day come back.
Okay.
We have to exercise patience.
Yes, Prabhuji.
We have
Yeah.
to be tolerant.
I
It's
should
also
accept
it's also
Yes.
personal purification for us.
personal purification. Yes, sir. I should accept this. I'm unable to digest this.
It's also
Yeah.
personal purification as a parent.
Yes, yes, Prabhuji. That's true. That's true. So we'll try
You have to
all
try your
the
best.
all the choices. Yeah, Prabhuji. All the alternatives.
Whatever it's possible in your hands, do it very sincerely. Just leave it to that soul and the Krishna. It's up to them.
It's up to them. Yeah, that's. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. It's really
Thank you.
wonderful. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Any other questions?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, any other questions? Doubts? If yes, Srivali Mati, you want to say something?
Yeah, his name is because you were just explaining when Prasad Prabhu. His name is Praneshwar Prabhuji. Is that right?
Yeah, okay, sir. Pranesh.
Praneshwar Prabhuji. Okay.
Oh, thank you so much. Pranesh.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
So if there are no other doubts, we can stop the session over here. Hare Krishna Silpa Mataji. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I think this is the best way to continue, Mataji, giving small portions instead of the big entire chapter. I don't think entire chapter we are doing justice for that. The way you are scheduling is very wonderful, Mataji. We can understand so many details. Thank you so much.
Prabhuji. Thank you. Thank you for the feedback. Yeah.
Hare
Thanks
Krishna.
everyone for joining.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dada
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna Prabhu. Hare
Doubt
Krishna
is-
Prabhu.
I'll end the
Doubt
session here.
Yes, Mataji.
I'll end the session here.
Okay, Mataji. वाञ्छा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंतकोटि वैष्णव की जय ट्रांसेंडेंटल बुक श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय हरे कृष्ण थैंक यू सो मच